Man, once again, we over here at Corey's Corner,
Hi.
and we got a special individual. You want to introduce her, or you want to let her introduce herself, son?
I'll let her introduce herself.
Well, I appreciate that, Mr. Corey.
Thank you.
Hi, I am Janice Patterson, known professionally as Joe Patterson and Mama Joe, and I'm from Washington, D.C. And I am so happy to be here. The spirit is so wonderful in this studio.
Man,
Thanks.
thank you. Go like, comment, and subscribe. Man, for more content that you about to get, man. You know what I mean? So, man, Mr. Banks, I'll let you go ahead and do what you do.
Okay, how does it feel like to be one of a family of a very great black individual in the community?
You know what? I'm sitting here and I'm looking at Tupac picture and also his dad, Mutulu Shakur, and our extended family in the movement. And the movement was all about demonstrating family. But I remember when I used to come to Atlanta for Afeni and him did a foundation, and it was around their experience around homelessness. And I think it's Blue Mountain.
Yeah. Stone Mountain.
Stone Mountain.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm going to tell y'all, when I first went to visit there, all this property, but I'm here to tell you, Corey, is nothing like the beginnings of small things that are important. All the family was in that house. I mean, I went walking in the woods, and Afeni yelled and said, "It's snakes in the woods." So I ran back, but the house was so small and intimate. And I was just so proud. I'm getting emotional. I was just so proud to be in the space where what was more important to Afeni and Tupac and our extended family and the movement was family. You know, I can't imagine. I still feel safe with them in a higher place, but I'm here to tell you, walking around in this wicked place, in this wicked space, and knowing that you're connected to Matulo, Afeni, and Lumumba, Chokwe Lumumba, whose son is now the mayor of Mississippi. Just the fruit that comes out of the fact that we love and care about each other. It was two things that we always said when we met each other and when we left each other. And you know what we said, Corey? I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the whirlwind.
What's the significance behind that?
I think whirlwind is a deeper statement of spirit. Because, you know, the whirlwind goes shh, shh, shh. So I don't have to be here to like touch you, hug you, and kiss you. You know what that feels because the spirit is greater than the flesh. A lot of times we overlook the small things on how we really need to appreciate one another. Remember when you were telling me how you help your classmates? And I said, don't ever lose yourself. Always be able to define yourself in that classroom and don't let no pressure. So appreciate. How many times do people say, I appreciate you? And I can just hear all of them always saying, I appreciate you. And when they came to your house, they didn't bring liquor and all those things. They brought groceries. They brought groceries. And I think when your dad was in D.C. for the One Flag event, one of the things I stated to the audience is that when you know a woman has children, and if you're dating her and you go into her home and you see kids and you just bring the Moet and the cookies and the candy and the potato chips, and you see those kids, wouldn't the best gift to bring is to bring something for the children? No matter if, hey, you're young, I'm not even going to say what I want to say, but basically, sometimes it's just a drive-by. But you still have to do everything in the elevation and the development of our children. And I don't care what people might think that the movement was, the movement, and even with Tupac being in this industry, if you listen to his music, he always talked about the movement and salvation and saving the children. And it's so many of us, and that's why I'm so proud of what is birthed out of that whole extension of our family. Even my nieces, Asantawa, Afua, and Aisha. And I hope I get it right, but I know they spell it Seedz, seeds of the living. And I saw a statement on Facebook, I don't know if it was TikTok, they say they try to kill us, but we seeds.
Regenerate, replant, regrowth.
I am very proud, and I don't know if the audience or if this is filming and people can see it, but to be in the space where youth is interviewing me, but then we have adults in the room, and that your voice is strong, but you're allowing us to guide you. And so often in our society with our dark and brown children, so many times people say the youth have a voice. Yes, they do have a voice, but it has to be guided. You have to learn your ancestors. You have to respect your mother and your father. You have to respect your elders. See, this whole you got a voice, it's a voice with guidance. Mm-hmm. We come up and your dad comes up. I'm 73. Thank God that he has preserved my beauty and my looks, but it comes from what is fed into my soul. I really believe that that's what it is. So coming from a legendary family, it's not just Tupac, because Tupac was birthed from a mom, a dad. You got Bilal, you got Sekou, you got all of the images. And always, look, you were saying a famous is not it, okay? Famous and all of these things are decorative. But can you walk in a room and don't have nothing and your back still be straight? That's what I want you to learn. That you know you can have much, but you also have to be able to live without. You know what I mean, Corey? So like, you might go to school and your lunch bag is full, right? Mm-hmm. But in a split second, it could be gone. So when you walk in that space, are you going to still walk with the same dignity? That's what's important. Education is powerful if you use it to elevate other people. Don't ever let any institution make you be in a situation where it's institutional intellectual learned privilege, that you think that you're better. So when you get a job or you become whatever you become, right? At no point, and I'm very emotional too, because I know I sent a note out to the whole family. Won't God do it? Because I know Afeni, Tupac, Matula, all of our ancestors, they up there dancing. Because isn't the spirit greater than the flesh? The detectives, everybody try to find his killer. But look, years and years later, it surfaced up because the spirit is greater. And when you came over there and you told me, and I asked you about your classroom, and the first thing you told me, you didn't say it was dumb kids in your room. You didn't say it was bad kids in your room. And that's the other thing that needs to change is how we describe our people. You said, I helped them. I helped them. Do you know, I'm going to go back into D.C. I'm going to tell all the kids. I work in the D.C. Youth Rehabilitation Center. But, hey, guys, I know it's rehabilitation, but it's still a receiving home. I don't never want my young people to misunderstand that. There's a new beginning. But, you know, it's like Batulo said, your mind, your body can be in jail, but your mind doesn't. And that's the same thing in the classroom. I was saying to Miss Williams' brother today, walk in your own shoes, and I promise you, you'll never get lost. Because if I sat here and came in this space and I define myself as the spot SoDo, or I've defined myself by this gentleman or everyone is in this room, then when you ask me a question, guess what? Guess what's going to happen to me when you ask me a question when I've just changed my whole who I am? I'm not going to know the answer. I'm going to be confused. But I come into this space, as you came into the space, I feel you and you feel me. I'm here because I met your dad. I was speaking at the One Flag. And we're not just here to tell the world that we want to show off. We came because we saw something deeper in each other that we want to build off of music. And one of the things we said, I said, Mr. Banks, why don't we take the music industry and call out everybody, Jay-Z, Snoop, everybody, and everybody make a song to teach our children something different. And then we have an awards program once a year where whoever made the best song that transformed the community of our young people, then they will get an award. But guess what the award would be? Every penny of that song goes into a community. Every pennies of those songs will eliminate homelessness, build houses. Because I'm telling you right now, I don't know how people go to bed. They got money and see their people suffering. So is there anything else you would like to ask me? I want you to be who you want to be. I don't want you to be afraid to ask anything. And what I'm very proud of is that you're looking me in my eyes. And so whoever sees this, they're going to see that you have the capacity to look me in my eyes. And you want to know why you can do that? Because I'm saying something. A lot of people just chitter chatter. But when people say something to feed the soul, they're going to pay attention. That's what's going to happen. So, one of my favorite things that I tell my young people, and I'm so grateful to Afeni and them and our whole entire extended family, Bilal, Sekou, Asantewa, my children, and all of Rakia Lumumba, Chokwe Lumumba. He is the mayor of Jackson, Mississippi. His father was the first mayor, and he was an attorney, but he was strong enough to defend the Panther movement. And a lot of times everybody think the Panther movement, but everybody in this room, I don't care what color you are, you're a Panther. A Panther is nothing but someone that has dignity, integrity, loyalty, and trust to something to help people be better. It's not no color. This race equity, this, what do they call it? Racial equity. Cultural competence. Oh, now they got a new thing that's coming in our community. Trauma-informed care. Which happens to us, misdiagnosis, misevaluations, and over-medicating our community. So I don't have anything against the movement of trauma-informed care. But our trauma has nothing to do really with mental illness. Guess what it is, Courtney? Poverty of the spirit. Poverty, that's not what killed people. I was just in El Salvador 2 weeks ago. I saw people walking down the street with pots on their head, children with mismatched clothes. But what I saw when I was in El Salvador was love. And when I took my shower, the shower wasn't hot water. It was normal, cold. To me, it was cold, but after I got used to taking the shower, the water ended up being normal. I really loved it. I rested so much those 2 weeks there. I saw love beyond Gucci, Chanel. And guess what? You know what's funny? You're going to laugh about this. You're going to really have to know this. A designer is one of a kind. So really everybody's wearing labels. And you remember that. So when Gucci calls you and tell you to come past his house for you to create something for you, that's when you got one of a kind. Don't let people just lead you down the wrong street. And just know that I like nice things. I like expensive things. But it does not make me. It doesn't make me. Shoot, I think I've been displaced maybe about 7 times. I'm serious. Where I had to put all my stuff in storage, and I had to wear the same thing to the meetings. But guess what? That was my best time, because I'm telling you, going through that closet trying to figure out what you're going to wear every day. But when you deck yourself with excellency and majesty of the Spirit of the Lord, you look beautiful. Because beauty brings grief. You know you're handsome. I'm going to tell you like right now. You make sure you protect yourself, because look, you're good looking. Beauty brings grief like a wine press on the side of the road. Everybody come by and want to take a sip, but they don't want you.
Man, deep words, man. You guys gotta forgive me, man. I'm over here, but if y'all don't feel the energy, I can't tell you, because like sitting back with your ancestors or sitting back with your grandmother or sitting back with your auntie. So it's tears of joy because we're watching nations be built just with youngsters, and I'm glad, Miss Patterson did come in. We did get her down here and everything from DC. But we gonna go ahead and we gonna let Corey go ahead and finish it and go ahead and end it. And we're gonna go ahead and get ready for the next interview. So man, it's on you. Say what you want to say or your thing.
I want to ask her one more question.
Yeah, just go ahead.
Very nice. You have a very influential face. Hold on. Let me recover from that. Hold on. Okay. So, what was it to you when, how can I say this? How did you feel when everybody was getting hurt and a ton of pain was happening to our community? How did you feel when that happened?
I would have to say to you, Prince Courtney, that how I felt, I still feel it. But what I do is I transform my pain in doing the work. If I could share with you how many times I'm in a hospital room where a mother screams because her child has been killed, and how I have to call a system that puts so many things in protocol to bury a child or to heal a mother. But what I want you to feel, that I feel in my heart, my biggest cry out to my community is that we have to use a village approach. If a mother can't bury their child, every person in the community should put do you know 100 people putting in $1, that's $100? And do you know no mother should be screaming and hollering in the hospital because she can't bury her child? And no agency in the world. So you know what I feel? I call out to every funder, every company, every philanthropist, and everybody in the world. There's no reason a mother shouldn't be able to bury their child. And not when one is on display. It should be done. So that's how I feel about it. And we can't get tired. So when you say you hurt and you tired, you know what I ask God? I say, help me. And you know what I tell some of my parents when we have called every agency in the book. I have to put them in hotels. I have to find safe spaces. I say, help me ask God to help us. We got to go back to the survival mechanisms of what made us overcome. That was our faith and caring about each other. If I come to you and say, look, Mary Popkins' son died, can you give me 50 cents? I don't want you. Can y'all believe people going to tell me I don't know him? Do you really have to know somebody to help them? So, Corey, that's how I feel about it. And that's why I'm proud of you. Because before we started this interview, you already told me what you're doing. You are a changer maker. You are an influencer. That's the best medal that you can have. So when you get ready to walk into the institutions of college, you already have the knowledge. All you're going to do is get that's just a new way of being free. That's the new set me free, is to get some education. But it also can change your mind if you don't take that, what you've learned, back into your community and help someone along the way. So yes, I cry. I go to bed at night aching, but I get right back up and I tell my parents when we don't have an answer, let's pray. That's the only thing I can tell you that I do. Let's pray. And guess what? I speak truth to power. And guess what they do? They don't fund me. But guess what? My Lord provides for me and makes a way. Okay?
Okay.
So that's the answer to that. Thank you so much. You have honored me to be in the presence of you.
Patterson again. We're over here at Corey's Corner, man. This was a very deep episode. I mean, go ahead and close us out.
Like, comment, subscribe for more content like this. Thank you, Miss Patterson, to be on here. Thank you, Dad, to be on here too. We will see you in the next place. We might have new guests, and hey, just thank you for being here.